There's a kind of presence that doesn't ask for attention. It absorbs it. When you walk into a room, the air shifts. People can't explain it, but they feel it. The tension, the awareness, the quiet demand for respect. You don't need to raise your voice. You don't even need to speak, because your silence already says, "I know who I am." That's the foundation of the Ruthless aura. It isn't built on intimidation. It's built on certainty. Most people are loud because they're unsure. But the man who carries power inside doesn't perform it. He radiates it. Machiavelli understood that the most commanding energy is not the one that shouts. It's the one that makes others hesitate before speaking. And that hesitation, that's the beginning of control. To build this kind of aura, you must first destroy something. The part of you that needs approval, because the moment you stop craving to be liked, you become impossible to control. Most people seek comfort in belonging. You, on the other hand, find strength in distance. The Ruthless aura is born in solitude, in the silence where you learn to validate yourself. You stop chasing attention. You start becoming attention. And when you master your energy, people feel it before you even open your mouth. They don't know whether to trust you or fear you, and that confusion gives you leverage. Machiavelli wrote that men obey more easily those they cannot fully understand. So never be fully understood. Be a contradiction, calm but alert, polite but unpredictable, silent but impossible to ignore. Because what they can't read, they can't anticipate. And what they can't anticipate, they can't control. But ruthlessness is not cruelty. It's the discipline to prioritize truth over comfort, strategy over impulse, and respect over popularity. Most people dilute themselves to be liked. They trade their edge for acceptance. But you sharpen yours in silence. You stop explaining your worth. You stop negotiating your standards. You become selective, not arrogant. Detached, not emotionless. You observe people longer than you engage them. You test intentions through time, not words. Because the Ruthless aura isn't built by dominating others. It's built by mastering your reactions. Machiavelli believed that restraint is the highest form of power. When you can look into someone's eyes while they try to provoke you, and still remain calm. That's not coldness. That's control. That's the moment you stop matching energy and start dictating it. Understand this. The world respects mystery more than honesty. They say they want authenticity, but what they really want is fascination. The Ruthless aura uses this truth wisely. You don't show all your thoughts. You don't reveal every plan. You let people wonder. Let their imagination do the work for you. Because curiosity is a stronger leash than fear. Machiavelli knew that when people can't fully read your motives, they fill the gaps with their own projections. And often they imagine you're far more powerful than you actually are. That illusion becomes armor. It protects you from underestimation, and it buys you influence before you even act. The key is balance. Reveal enough to stay human, but never enough to be predictable. Keep a smile that doesn't reach your eyes. Speak with warmth, but hold a silence that suggests you've seen too much to ever be naive again. That's the paradox of the Ruthless aura. Warmth wrapped around steel. The Ruthless aura is not built in public. It's forged in silence, in all the moments no one sees. It's when you choose to walk away instead of explaining. It's when you stop chasing closure, validation, or revenge, and let your absence do the speaking. Every time you resist the urge to prove a point, you sharpen your presence, because silence is not emptiness, it's compression. It gathers energy, focus, and intent until one small move carries the weight of 1,000 words. Machiavelli said the wise man acts like a lion only when he must, but spends the rest of his time studying the jungle. The ruthless aura doesn't roar, it waits. It lets others underestimate, overtalk, overreach, and then strikes with precision. The result? They think it was instinct, but it was preparation disguised as calm. To hold this power, you must be comfortable being misunderstood, because mystery always comes at the cost of misinterpretation. People will call you cold, detached, heartless. They'll project their discomfort onto your discipline. But that's the price of sovereignty. You're not rude, you're reserved. You're not distant, you're discerning. You understand that most connections are built on energy exchange, not loyalty, and that protecting your energy means protecting your empire. The ruthless aura doesn't chase admiration. It attracts respect through boundaries. And those who can't control you will always label you difficult. Let them. Machiavelli taught that the perception of danger can be more powerful than danger itself. So let your silence suggest what your enemies fear most, that you see through everything and answer to no one. By now, your presence begins to work without effort. People lower their voices when you enter. They second-guess their tone, their words, their confidence. They don't know why, but they feel something ancient, something heavy, self-possession. You carry yourself like someone who doesn't negotiate identity, and that kind of composure makes noise irrelevant. You're not chasing attention anymore. You've become the gravity that pulls it. This is what Machiavelli meant when he wrote that the strongest ruler is the one who governs without ever raising his hand. You lead not through command, but through calibration. Your stillness sets the tone. Your restraint shapes the atmosphere. And in a world addicted to noise, your silence becomes the loudest sound. In the end, the ruthless aura is not about fear. It's about freedom. Freedom from needing to explain. Freedom from emotional chains. Freedom from the fragile approval that most people mistake for love. You've turned yourself into a fortress, not to keep people out, but to keep your power in. And now, your calm has weight. Your words carry consequence. Your silence commands attention. You no longer enter rooms to prove worth. You enter them to set temperature. Machiavelli would say, this is the highest form of strategy. To control without control. To rule without ruling. To win without fighting. So stay silent. Stay sharp. Stay sovereign. Because the moment you stop chasing power is the moment everyone starts feeling it around you.